Hello everyone, my name is AZZATRU, how are you? And welcome to another video of mine, and this is going to be my 16,000 subscriber Q&A special. A few days ago I asked you guys to ask me some questions, could be anything really, and I have picked around 20 or so questions from Star Wars related to completely random, not even relating to Star Wars or Battlefront or me at all. Hopefully you will learn something new and enjoy this video. I'm going to start things with the most commonly asked question on my channel, not just this video, it was on this video, but on every single upload I post I get this question and it's time to answer it. These people ask, how are you? I'm great, thank you. How are you? Excalibur 1998 asks, how many boffins die to bring us your news? Thinking about it, it's only one or two every single video. Star Wars Legacy asks, thoughts on Raylo? This. What is your favourite Star Wars game? This is a tough one because I think it's more nostalgia reasons, but I love LEGO Star Wars 2. As this was my first proper introduction to Star Wars. I played LEGO Star Wars 2 before I actually watched any of the films, and I just loved the level design and loved the features of it. It was something I've never played before. I hadn't played a LEGO game before, and it was just an instant classic. But then, in my opinion, my personal favourite Star Wars game, the one I've had the most fun in playing, is Star Wars Battlefront 2. Like, people are going to call me a fanboy and this, that and the other, but it's true. Like, I have a lot of fun just playing Star Wars Battlefront 2, and it means a lot to me, really. It's one of my favourite games. Eve asks, if you could eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be? This is actually a tough one because I have some stuff that I absolutely love. It's either going to be Chinese or barbecue ribs. I'm going to say barbecue ribs, because that's what I get every time I usually go to a restaurant that has them. I have to have it, so I'm going to say that. What's your favourite Star Wars design? This is a tough one. I love the X-Wing. It's probably the most important design in terms of like a vehicle, anything to do with Star Wars actually, as a child, in my childhood. But I have come to love the Millennium Falcon design over the last 3-4 years or so. But then I also like the Republic stuff, you know, the Phase 1 clone stuff. I think I'm going to have to go with the X-Wing, because that is what really got me into Star Wars. Just seeing that ship in A New Hope for the first time. I don't know, there's something about it, and it was probably the first Lego set I got for Star Wars when I was about 6 or 7 years old, was the X-Wing. And I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. So I'm going to say the X-Wing, I would say. Darth Pog, do a face reveal and do you like chocolate? Well, I got asked this in my last Q&A, do a face reveal. I literally do a live stream like every couple of weeks or so with my face in. And loads of my other videos have my face in. So, yeah, I did a face reveal in like 2012. Do you like chocolate as well? Of course I do. It's the best thing ever. Excalibur 1998 asks another question, blue milk from a bantha or green milk from the fish cow? And I'm assuming that is the weird creature that Luke drinks milk from. What would I rather drink? Definitely blue milk. Even though I hate milk, Luke just makes the green milk look disgusting in The Last Jedi. Nick SK81227 asks, favourite movie and TV series? Favourite movie? Oh, that's a tough one. That is a tough one. I'm gonna go, this is gonna be really controversial, The Force Awakens, because I've rewatched like 10, 11, 12 times in the last 2 years. And it was just, yes, it was mainly because it was the nostalgia and this, that and the other, but it was just perfect, in my opinion, almost. There was very few things wrong with it. It ended on the most perfect note, in my opinion. It just had everything that a Star Wars film should have. I think for that reason, I'm going to have to say it's my favourite movie. Although saying that, I just would say The Last Jedi, even though based only on 2 viewings is my favourite Star Wars film. See, that's really confusing, isn't it? I don't really know. It's such a hard question to answer. And I'm really being hypocritical here by saying The Last Jedi is better, but isn't... You know, this is a really hard question. On to TV series. I actually... Ooh, I would say House of Cards, I think. Even though it's not a TV series. It's technically a TV series because it's done like a TV series, but I would say House of Cards, personally. I can't think of... I mean, the last TV series I properly watched was that in the last 4 years. Like, I don't watch TV. And before then, I used to watch, like, Doctor Who and things like that. But I haven't watched that in years, and I wouldn't say it's my favourite. The Battlefront TV wants to know what my favourite class is in Battlefront 2. Probably until this month, or the end of December, I would have said Assault, without a doubt. Assault 100%. But I have had so much fun using the Officer class. I get so many more battle points using the Officer class in the last week or so. It's just been fantastic. I am really loving using the Officer and supporting my teammates because you can do so much buffing to your teammates whilst getting you loads of battle points to be a hero in the near future. So I must say it's got to be the Officer. If you could pick one helmet from Star Wars, which one would you choose and why? I'm gonna go with this one. Actually, I like this one and the Phase 1. Mainly the Phase 1 Clone Trooper armor and helmet is my favourite of all time, without a doubt. It's just incredible. Liam R Gaming asks, what 2018 games are you most excited for? Also, thanks for the good content. Thank you very much for the kind words. And to answer your question, the games I'm most excited for next year that have been announced, I'm not going to speculate. It's going to be Sea of Thieves, Crackdown 3, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Anthem. But I think that might be delayed actually till 2019. But it's still scheduled for 2018 at the time of recording this video, so I'm going to go with those 4. The Dark Side asks, who is your favourite Star Wars character? This is a tough one actually because I have some really favourite characters from when I was younger, but then I've sort of, when I fell out with Star Wars, not fall out with it, but didn't really care about it. Obi-Wan was probably my first ever favourite character. And then Luke, when I sort of got back into Star Wars, before The Force Awakens came out, and then Rey since 2015. So, it's hard to pick one of those 3 to be honest. But more so in the last couple of years, Luke and Rey. I think Luke's performance, Mark Hamill's performance of Luke in The Last Jedi was incredible, and people have been calling Luke's character, but to me personally, it was fantastic. Like, to see him like that, I don't see the issue with it. Like, he's still Luke Skywalker to me. Big Shaq asks, what is your favourite book? I haven't read a book properly in about 3 or 4 years, at least since school time, you know, back when I was at school. And in my last year at school, I read Halo: The Fall of Reach, and I think that was probably my favourite reading book. So I'm going to go with that. I'm probably missing a biography or something along those lines that I really liked when I was younger, but I can't think of right now because it's not something I do like at all these days. Boba Fett, the bounty hunter himself, asks, what would you love to see added to Star Wars Battlefront 2 from the original Star Wars Battlefront made by Electronic Arts? Thank you for reading this, and please feature this in your upcoming video. Well, I'm doing that. Thank you again, AZZATRU, for interesting content. Well, I appreciate you saying that. The feature I'd like to see most come back from the first game, I think I'd have to say hook contracts. Now that all the content is free, it's not like you have to pay for it. It makes more sense for them to be hidden behind challenges or just locked behind challenges. You know, a lot of the challenges weren't really that tricky. Some of them were, but you could do them if you put your mind onto them. And in my opinion, the challenges for those hook contracts were so much better than some of the challenges we're getting for free credits and stuff like that. So I would like to see hook contracts return in some sort of form, or at least something in that way. Maybe the name is completely different and it's under a different character, but I'd like to see something like that. Torbis asks, what's in front of you right now? A keyboard, a keyboard and mouse mat, a monitor, another monitor, and another monitor because I'm just turning my head, my microphone, and an Xbox controller, and some Star Wars figures. That's what's in front of me right now. I won't show a picture, I'm just going to describe it to you. And, oh, your question, because I'm literally reading it off the screen, because it's in front of me. Some lucky boy asks, what are your thoughts on Battlefront 2 so far, despite the backlash this game has received at launch? I'm loving it, man. Like, I play it every single day. I log in, get my daily crate, get my daily arcade credits, open a crate, get some star cards, go into Galactic Assault or Blast, have a blast, really, for an hour or so, and then make some videos on it. Like, the backlash to me, yes, some of it is deserved in a way. Like, there is reasons for it, but then a lot of the other stuff I disagree massively with. There just needs to be some change and at least communication, like not necessarily physical change for me in the game, but we need communication starting from this week. We need communication this week. If not, I'm going to be upset because it's been a long time. You know, the first season with The Last Jedi season, the content was great. It was really, really good. And I feel like this game is much more balanced and in a better state compared to the first game. Like, I don't think people realise the first game was left, you know, in the same state 2 years ago. Or actually, yeah, 2 years ago. It's been a while, and everyone was complaining about it, and yet people seem to think it's much better than this game. But I disagree. My personal opinion is that I disagree. What made you want to start YouTube? I haven't answered this question in probably a couple of years now, so I thought I would do it, seeing it's been quite some time. I don't know, really, 100%. It was a mixture of things, I would say. Basically, I started watching like Call of Duty zombie videos and just Call of Duty videos in general, and then started like watching Halo videos, and I was like, it seems really easy to like edit videos. I was like 13 at the time, and I was like, oh, how do you know, make videos? And then I saw YouTubers like Syndicate that was like, you know, growing massively and was like going, like traveling the world and stuff like that. I was like, okay, this is really cool. This was like in 2011. And I was like, okay, I want to make Call of Duty videos because I play Call of Duty every single night. So I'm going to do that. And I was like, I want to do news and tips and that sort of stuff. So that's what I did, basically. And that's how it started. Did you ever have a trampoline? If not, why weren't you allowed one? I never had a trampoline, and I never asked for one, so I wasn't not allowed one. Probably because of space. We didn't have space for it if I did ask for one. Luka Grovic asks, what do you think the next Star Wars game will be, and when will it come out? Well, it's going to be Respawn's Jedi, Sith, lightsaber, combat, action, adventure, third person, whatever it's going to be. All we know, it's going to involve lightsabers, it's going to be third person action, and it's going to be awesome because it's being made by Respawn, so the quality should be good. And it's coming out in 2019, I'd assume so anyway, at the end of 2019. Luca also asks, how many seasons of Battlefront 2 will there be in your opinion? What's the next one? I think there'll be at least 6. I don't know how frequent they'll be, I don't know how much content there'll be, and I don't know how long they'll last for, but I think there will be a minimum of 6. And I think the next one will be prequels. I would like to see maybe 1 or 2 planets from the films. Not the Clone Wars series, I don't want to see any of that. I want to see something like Geonosis or Coruscant, for example. I'd love to see that in the Clone Wars, in a season for the Clone Wars. I think that's what it should be. It's got to be that, as the prequel stuff is the one that's lacking the most in Battlefront 2. Chris asks, why do you like Battlefront 2? Is there something about it? Same with Titanfall 2. Battlefront 2, I like it because it is really, really fun. It's easy to get into. It's Star Wars, and it just feels good to unlock stuff. Like, I like the unlocking system to an extent. It could be better and could be more deeper, but I just enjoy the fun of it, and there is so much satisfaction to getting kills in this game. That is probably my number one thing. The satisfaction in getting a kill and helping your team out and winning, completing an objective, is so satisfying. For Titanfall 2, I think it's because it's being made by a group of people that I would say are my favourite developers in the entire video game industry. They created games such as Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2 that heavily influenced me and my teenage life, and then they've created Titanfall and Titanfall 2, two games that are so smooth and feel so good to play. There is so much satisfaction in getting kills, the movement, and the mechanics of the game, the speed of it, just the freedom of how you can move around the maps and objects and whatnot. It's just fantastic. It's just a fantastic game that is close to being perfect in my opinion. That's all for my 16,000 subscriber Q&A. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and you learnt something new. In the comment section below, be sure to comment whatever you want, really, and drop a like if you enjoyed this video. Check out any of the two previous videos on screen, and I shall see you all in my next Star Wars Battlefront 2 video. Goodbye.